My name is Michael and welcome to Tabletop-Infiltrator. In today's video we'll be looking at one of the last units to be joining my Space Marine army, a 10-man Hellblaster squad. We'll check out how I painted them up, their data sheets, any useful stratagems, and how I plan to use them on the tabletop. Let's start off with having a look and seeing how they turned out. And here they are, my 10-man Hellblaster squad. These guys are so different to any other Marine squad I've painted. You'll normally only have 1 to 2 special weapons or a heavy weapon in each unit, but these guys have 10 plasma incinerators, which makes them really unique and stand out. I painted them up using a Chaos Black rattle can to do the base coat. I used my airbrush to apply the base colour of heavy blue. Abaddon Black was used to tidy up the plasma incinerator. Lead Belcher was applied to all the armour joints, exhaust ports on the backpack, plasma gun, the sergeant's bolt pistol and his ventilator. Balthazar Gold was used on all the ornate sections of the models. Beastie Brown was used on the sergeant's holster and on any pouches. Screamer Pink was the base colour for the purity seals. Ushamti Bone was used for any scroll work. Gory Red was used for the helmet lenses, sergeant's bolt pistol casing to highlight the purity seals and the scope on the plasma weapons. The coils on the plasma guns were painted using a thin down layer of cold grey, then white scar over the top of that, with a wash of Druchii Violet over the top of that. White scar was also used for the dots on the helmet lenses and the scopes. The sergeant's head was painted with another thin layer of cold grey, followed by Acadian flesh tone. All the models were given a wash of Nuln oil and then tidied up using the base colours. I used sand from the beach for the bases, stuck down with PVA and given a layer of flesh wash. When the models were dry, I used an artist pen with a 0.25mm black tip to write the scripture on any purity seals and scrolls. I'm really pleased with how the models turned out. Let me know what you think of them down in the comment section. With the unit ready to go, let's have a look through their datasheet. Hellblasters are a heavy support choice. You can have between 5 to 10 models in a unit and they are 33 points each irrespective of what plasma weapon you equip them with. You can give the sergeant a plasma pistol for 5 points, but it's a little bit pointless as he's probably never going to fire it, so I'm just going to stick with a bolt pistol. Looking at their stats, they're movement 6, weapon skill and ballistic skill 3+, strength 4, toughness 4 with 2 wounds, attacks 2, 3 on the sergeant, leadership 7, leadership 8 on the sergeant with a 3-up save. Every model is equipped with a bolt pistol, plasma incinerator, frag and crack grenades. The plasma incinerator, its standard profile is range 30, rapid fire 1, strength 7, AP -4 and 1 damage. And if you're supercharging it, it's range 30, rapid fire 1, strength 8, AP -4 and 2 damage. And its abilities, plasma. If an unmodified hit roll of 1 are made for attacks with this weapon profile, the bearer is destroyed after shooting with this weapon. So basically don't roll any ones. The different weapon options you can have for the unit, you can take the assault plasma incinerator. So the standard profile is range 24, so slightly shorter than the plasma incinerator. Assault 3, strength 6, AP -4 and 1 damage. And then when you supercharge it's range 24, assault 3, strength 7, AP -4 and 2 damage. And again it suffers from the overheat rule. Assault plasma incinerator, a lot of people, if they do take Hellblasters, they do go for this one because it means they're a bit more mobile with the assault rules, still meaning they can shoot when they've advanced. And it's 3 shots, so that is a lot of firepower you can put out. But again, the 3 shots does mean that you're increasing your odds of suffering a 1 to hit and overheating. Or you can take the heavy plasma incinerator, so its standard profile is range 36, so good range on that, especially on the smaller boards now. Heavy 1, strength 8, -4 AP and 2 damage, so its standard profile is really good. And then when you supercharge it, range 36, heavy 1, strength 9, so any toughness 7 or 8 vehicles are going to be really struggling against this. AP -4, cut through any armour, and 3 damage, which is really good. Their abilities, they have Angels of Death, giving them access to, and they shall know no fear, Bolt of Discipline, Shock Assault and Combat Doctrines. And then they have the ability to split into combat squads, which will be possible as I'm going to be taking a unit of 10. So depending on the tactical situation will determine whether or not I split them down into combat squads or not. It is, most of the time though, if you're going to break them down into combat squads, it's more beneficial to take 2 squads of 5, because then you get the sergeant with the higher leadership and increase on the attack profile. But tactically, if I come across a situation where I need the 2 squads, then I've got that option there. And then their keywords, they've got Imperium, Adaptus Astartes, Infantry, Corps, Primaris and Hellblaster squad. I'm going to be running a 10-man squad equipped with the heavy plasma incinerators. That works out at 330 points total. Now that is a big point sink, and I know there are more efficient choices than the Hellblasters, but I really do like the look of the unit. The heavy plasma weapon gives me a good reach across the board at range 36 with a good damage potential whether supercharging or not. Supported by characters, they could be absolutely devastating to anything they get in their sights. Looking at stratagems, there's not a lot for the unit out there. Their buffs and bonuses will be coming from support characters, but there are 2 that I could potentially use. The first one being transhuman physiology, so 1 or 2 command points depending on the size of the squad. So for a squad of 5 it'll be 1, anything over that will be 2 command points. Use this stratagem in any phase when a Primaris unit for your army is selected as the target of an attack. Until the end of the phase, each time an attack is made against that unit, an unmodified wound roll of 1 to 3 for that attack fails, irrespective of any abilities that weapon or the model making the attack may have. This will give them some more durability. I think they're going to be targeted a lot, and combined with being close to the Chief Apothecary will make them really hard to shift. Next is Steady Advance for 2 command points. Use this stratagem in your movement phase when an Adaptus Astartes infantry unit from your army makes a normal move. Until the end of the turn, that unit is considered to have remained stationary. So as they are equipped with the heavy plasma incinerator, they will suffer the penalty to moving and shooting if I need to redeploy them. So this will help regain that efficiency. So how am I planning on using them on the tabletop? The squad is going to form the centre of my gun line, supported by a captain in fibrous armour with the chapter master upgrade, and a Primaris Apothecary upgraded to a Chief Apothecary. The idea is that in the command phase, I give my reroll all hits from my chapter master to the unit, increasing hit chance and reducing models dying from overheat if I do supercharge their weapons. The Apothecary's job is simple enough, and that's to heal any wounded models and bring back any who are destroyed. He can heal up to 2 models, up to 3 wounds per turn, and return a dead model to play using the Combat Revival strat, which is free due to his upgrade. The combination of these 2 support characters will mean the squad performs a lot better shooting wise and will be more survivable, as I can imagine they'll be receiving a lot of attention from my opponent. With my Hellblasters finished, I have one last unit to paint up to complete my army, and it's going to be a 5-man Inceptor squad. These are another unique addition to the Primaris range, and I'm really looking forward to getting some paint on them. That's it from me for another week. If you've enjoyed the video, consider giving me a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button there in the corner. It really does help the channel out, and switch on notifications so you never miss a video. And I will hopefully see you next time.